If you're using a popular nutrition tracking app and wondering why you're not losing body fat even though your calories are pretty low, then this video is for you. Case in point, I had one client whose weight started off at about 245 pounds. He dropped down to 215 and then still had about 15-20 more pounds to lose. He couldn't figure out why. I asked him, how many calories do you think you're eating? He says probably about 2,500 calories per day. So I said, all right, that's your prediction. Now let's do a calculation. I had him keep a food journal for 4 days. And after that duration, we added up how many calories he's really eating. It was more like 3,800 calories per day. But how much was his nutrition tracking app telling him? About 2,400 to 2,600 depending on the day. So how accurate are these apps really? Well, one study compared the accuracy of 5 different popular nutrition tracking apps with just a good old food diary and found that nutrition tracking apps underestimated calories by as much as 27%. In other words, if somebody thought they're eating 2,000 calories per day, they were eating more like 2,500 calories per day. Compounded with that, foods that have a food label legally are allowed to be as much as 20% off in their label. So if it says you're eating a 500 calorie serving, chances are that's probably about 600 calories. So not only is the label off, but the nutrition tracking app is off. And that explains how so many people could be eating way more calories than they're thinking, putting in an earnest effort, and yet not losing body fat, and it was extremely frustrating. So how do you accurately track your calories? Unfortunately, as it stands at this time, there's not a single great nutrition tracking app out there. The best we can do right now is still the old school method of find out which food you are eating. Look up the calories of that food in a nutrition database. Just type in nutrient database into a search engine. Then multiply the calories by the serving size. To do that serving size, for better or for worse, you will need a food scale. Your eyes, unfortunately, are not calibrated. Use a scale. After doing this for about 1 or 2 weeks, you'll have a much better idea of how many calories you are eating. That's the most accurate way. Now, if you don't want to go through the habit of, or the hassle of weighing your food, looking it up in nutrition databases, etc., there is a lower tech way of doing it. Yes, it's much simpler, much faster, but you do lose a little bit of accuracy. Not a lot, just a little bit. And that is this. Multiply your lean body mass by 15, and that's approximately how many calories you're eating. Your lean body mass, by the way, in pounds, not kilograms. And so how do you figure out your lean body mass, which might be different than your current body mass? You take your approximate body fat percentage and subtract that from your weight. So let's say you think you're 30% body fat and you weigh 200 pounds. That makes your lean body mass 140 pounds. So you multiply 140 by 15 and add in exercise. That would be the ballpark of how many calories you're currently eating within a 10% margin. You'll be pretty accurate with that method. If you like this information, I have a video just for you about the laziest way to lose body fat. This is without nutrition tracking, without going on a specific diet, without spending hours a day at the gym. If you want that, click on the other link in the description below, and that'll take you to a page where you can download this video exclusive to you, not published on YouTube. People who often use nutrition tracking apps will often also use fitness trackers like wearables, Apple Watches, Fitbits, Whoop straps, Oura rings, etc. But how accurate are those really? I have a video that answers that exact question right over here.